Welcome to Behind the Aisle podcast, where we're just two wedding professionals sharing a no bullshit approach to what goes on behind the scenes in the industry. My name is Katie, and I'm a wedding planner.
And I'm sorry, God, it's so loud.
I'm Sarah. I'm a wedding photographer.
Happy Halloween! If you guys are listening to this, we need you to pause, honestly, and I actually would rather you just go watch the YouTube. Sarah, low-key.
Sarah's a chicken.
We have our Halloween decorations up. We have spooky lights. And I have a spooky co-host. Y'all, she's got a full-on chicken head. Full-on chicken head right now. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. It's so hot in here.
Bless.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I can't keep the chicken head on because you can't hear me.
You can't hear her.
And it's very fucking loud in there. I feel like
Welcome back.
Yeah, I feel like I was just born. I feel like a traumatic experience just happened.
My word.
I was dying in there. Okay. Whew. Anyway, welcome.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, y'all.
I'm so excited. Oh my goodness.
I need some water.
Do you decorate for Halloween?
Yeah.
I think I saw you posted about your porch. It was very cute.
We can't wear headphones in our costumes, so I can't hear how loud this is or how loud it's not.
Oh, I think it probably sounds just fine.
Okay.
I decorated my house, my front porch, literally like September 30th. So then right when October 1st came, it was ready to go.
I decorated the 2nd on Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I love that.
it's not a lot, but it's enough. It's cute.
Yeah, I went full blown.
Yeah, you got cute stuff out there.
I do. I got cool, cute little stuffs. Well, happy Halloween, friends.
This is coming out the week of Halloween, so
yeah. We hope we have a really great Halloween.
I feel like you're whispering because I can't hear you.
Oh, I know. It probably sounds a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's different since when we first started. But yeah. Anybody give out candy? Do you go trick or treating? Do you have littles? Like, let us know. Or what is like an Instagram, like favorite costume do you think you've ever done? Ever?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Personally?
Yeah.
I liked last year's costume. I was a spooky witch, like a Viking witch, but that's my Renaissance fair costume too. So I kind of like double dipped.
Nice.
One year I was a mermaid that got, hooked with a fishing line.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. So it was for a costume contest, but I didn't win because the costumes had to be handmade, and mine was so well handmade that it looked like it was store-bought, and I didn't win.
Wait, no way.
Yeah. I handmade the whole thing. Like, I thrifted the skirt, cut it out, attached tulle, like redid my bra, all this stuff, had a wig and a hook coming out of my mouth with blood, and it was great. Yeah, that was probably my favorite one. What about you?
I mean, I'm a huge Tinkerbell fan, so I've been Tinkerbell several times. Don't say it that way, jeez, asshole. God damn. Oh. Fuck off. Jeez Louise. Yeah, Tink. I think that was like my favorite one. But I looked real damn cute.
I'm sure you did.
I was that basic ass bitch for Halloween is in college or whatever.
Oh, you sexy Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Sexy pirate. Sexy
Red Riding Hood.
Sexy.
I did. Yeah,
store
Tink.
clerk. Sexy.
Who's a store clerk?
I don't know. I just feel like they put sexy in front of it, and then all of a sudden it's like,
essentially it's just deep cleavage.
Yeah.
And short ass skirt. That's pretty much the only thing that makes anything sexy, quote unquote, with a Halloween costume. Yeah.
I was never that person. I never wanted to be a princess. I was always a vampire or a Wednesday or a witch or like something gory, a zombie. Like, I wanted to be dark and scary. And
yeah, no, I was the basic ass bitch or the complete opposite.
I was never that person.
It reminds me of like the Mean Girls, like the Halloween like scene or whatever.
Yep.
Where Katie Heron, she dresses up as like a It was like a dead bride or something like that.
Yes.
And
That would be me.
And the guy's like, damn, your costume is scary. And she's like, this is like the point. But yeah. And she does like the voiceover of like, Halloween comes once a year where everyone just takes an animal and like,
Yes.
sexies it up. Yep. Karen Smith. I'm a mouse. Duh. Sorry, I can literally quote that entire fucking movie from start to finish.
Well, anyway, guys, this week's episode, we are talking about unspoken hierarchy. And this was actually a topic that was given to us by somebody on Instagram. We had posted a while ago for topic recommendations. And this was the one that we chose because it could be juicy. It could be a little juicy.
I think so. I think in full transparency, I feel like Sarah and I, we kind of struggled with this one a little bit too. Because like I feel it a little bit in regards to like some sort of like hierarchy type situation. But also I don't feel like it's talked about where like I don't know other people's opinions about it or like if they have grievances about it of any kind.
Also, we couldn't really put it into words because it's more of
because
like
it is unspoken.
It's like a feeling.
Yeah.
It's a feeling more so than like something that you can actively communicate. Like it was very difficult to put it into words. So we're going to try. And the first question is there one? And there is, but it is very like situation specific. I feel like
it comes out when we're tagging each other on fucking Instagram.
I had to call you out on that.
I know you did. And that's fine. That's totally fine because I'd rather be educated. And quite honestly, I just did a mastermind the past several months and I asked in the group and I'm like, hey guys, like when you're tagging vendors, like what's the order that you like tag people in, you know, like in the captions or like in that first comment. Mm-hmm. And people normally will say obviously it came from planners first, then photographer, videographer, venue. Mm-hmm. And then I can't remember the ones after that. So I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Whereas when Sarah called me out, the way that I justified it was like, oh, I'm just going in alphabetical order. And Sarah's like, I don't like that.
She was putting me at the bottom.
Because people then think probably like, okay, if you're at the top, you're like the most important, and then you go all the way to the bottom, or like our transportation people down there.
Considering the fact that you're sharing my photo,
this is true.
You're putting me at the bottom. Like I mean,
rude.
A little.
I would never dare put a photographer though on the bottom. I had you in the middle because again, P is like in the middle of the,
depending on your alphabet.
Oh.
Like what you're tagging, I guess.
This is true, yeah.
Oh
fuck.
But yeah,
think about it.
So
do you see what we're talking about? It's like it's like, weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And she was like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that." And I'm like,
didn't.
I mean, it means nothing. It literally means nothing other than the fact that like I look at it and I'm like, "Where's my tag?" Oh
yeah. Then I called you out recently and I was like, I was the designer on this wedding, not just the fucking coordinator.
Yeah, I used the wrong terminology. My bad. I get it though. Like it's a weird.
No, I also wasn't like that serious.
She wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I need to disclaim.
I was serious.
She was actually. She was like, "Don't fucking do that again." I'm like, okay. And I've changed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense.
It does actually. Legitimately, it does make sense.
It makes sense. Like so in my head, when I tag, I do venue. Mm-hmm. Planner, photographer. Yep. I don't normally tag myself, but photographer, videographer, and then catering. Cake?
Floral?
No. DJ. No. Hair and makeup. DJ, floral, catering, cake. Miscellaneous. I don't normally tag transportation. That's a little weird. That's in my head. That's how it goes.
Yeah, because couples don't necessarily think about it. Also, from a photographer standpoint, you're probably not thinking about like transportation logistics. You don't really give a shit.
I do not.
But, I mean, valid.
They're always like, what vendor tags do you need? And I'm like, this one, this one, this one, this one. They're like, do you want transportation? I'm like, no. I don't care.
Wait, somebody asks you? Do you want transportation?
Yeah. Like if I'm like, is there anything I'm missing? And they're like, well, there's transportation. And I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm okay. Sorry, transportation guys. Would you like to be tagged? Is that a thing?
They do. Yeah, they will. They'll repost stuff. I mean, I feel bad for sometimes the transportation because no one's taking pictures of their buses.
Am I supposed to?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I will.
I think I've had a couple of galleries from other photographers where the bus just so happens to be in the background.
Yeah.
Or the transportation is like a really cool, like getaway car.
Sure.
Like a
Then
vintage
yes,
car.
Absolutely. I will take
But like
photos
your
of that.
shuttle bus, like charter bus, 38 passenger like bus or whatever.
Your school
bad for
bus
them.
that you
School bus.
you never seen school buses?
Oh, I've seen them, babe.
No, I know, but like, have you seen them used?
Not at my wedding.
They've been used at mine. Yeah. So there is one, but it's like a weird one, and I think it's very situation specific.
Yeah.
Because on the wedding day, there is an obvious hierarchy, but also it is still situation specific. Like I'm only gonna like people who have photography questions, they're not gonna go to the planner.
Nope.
To ask those questions. People who have coordination questions are not going to, well, they might come to me,
Yeah.
but they should go to the planner
If there's one, yeah.
if there is one. So it's like a weird
There's a weird situation.
situation. What's your hot takes on that?
Stay in your lane. That's like my hot take on it. Well, it shouldn't be a hot take. It really should be like how it should be in regards to like hierarchy. I do say, and this is not because I am a planner in and of itself, but like on wedding day, you should be defaulting to your coordinator or planner for literally everything.
Right. I think the problem we have though is that we're constantly preaching that we are all a team.
Which is true.
Yeah. So how do we combat?
But even with a team though, you have a captain who's calling the plays.
Yeah.
If we were taking American football, for example, you have a quarterback who's calling the plays or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you all work together to make sure that play is executed well.
Correct.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Like a planner coordinator is your captain for the day.
Yeah.
Type situation. I feel bad for you photographers when that ball has to fall into your court.
Right.
If we're going to continue to use sport puns.
Right. So I think the part that gets a little tricky is when people don't know the hierarchy and they put themselves in the hierarchy and they need to step down.
Yep. I've had to do that. I've had to deal with it a lot where I've had a photographer who wants to railroad and call the shots, to the point where, again, I have to, sometimes it's not worth it for me to fight somebody, because I know it's going to have implications on the entire wedding day in and of itself, and I'll bend a knee to it. Had one earlier this year, you know exactly what I'm talking about too. I've shared about it.
Yeah. We've talked about it on the podcast
all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It left a weird like imprint on my brain for the rest of my life. Where I was fighting him like for everything. Yeah. Had so many demands and my timeline ended up being a timeline that I hope to God that I will never ever have to do ever again, because it was so ass backwards. Yeah.
But in that instance, then we are a team. Like it's like it's weird because like you don't want there to be this, like, I feel like when this topic was given, it was given in a negative.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like, there is this unspoken hierarchy, like we need to get rid of it. But in reality, it's always going to be one because that's our jobs. Like we are given these jobs to perform these tasks, and there is people that need to be communicated with depending on the situation.
I feel like that's literally within any kind of,
like, it's not a negative.
No,
it's not. And I feel like we need to like rethink it.
The only way I feel like it was given like in a negative perspective or whatever is if someone who was in that leadership position abused it.
Yes. Okay.
So where I have heard the stereotypical planners, and I even sometimes have to, that's why like in my emails, when I send out like my vendor email that you're well aware of, and you've gone before, I literally put in that first paragraph, whether or not people read it or not, I don't really know. But I'm like, this is a collaborative effort. I'm trying to communicate. I am not a stereotypical planner where I'm like, it's my way or the highway type situation. Right. I am going to try my damnedest to bend over backwards, and whatever ask or request that you have, I'm going to try my hardest to be able to accommodate it. again, if I'm not able to accommodate something, I'm giving you a reason why, but it's not going to be based off of like my egotistical, like, that's not the way that I would do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
If it logistically doesn't make any sense, then that's why I'm probably going to tell somebody, like a vendor, no, that doesn't make any sense of why we shouldn't do that. But I like, because at the end of the day, you got to take but from a planner's perspective, you got to take a humble approach. It's not about me. My job literally is to make sure the wedding day goes over smoothly. So if somebody, like, if the DJ wants to come to me being like, hey, I don't want us to end off with cake cutting before open dance floor. I'd rather have a mother-son dance or a father-daughter dance transition well into the dance floor. Okay, why the fuck does it matter? Like, to me, I'm just kind of like, that's like, that's not going to make or break like the wedding day if we're cutting the cake like after toast or before, you know what I mean?
However, don't do it on the wedding day. What? Don't make that decision on the wedding day.
Oh, fuck no. Oh, Jesus. I was like, wait, cut your cake?
No. Don't make that decision. Like, we all have to like, go in
that's during the planning process is when I'm like talking about that stuff where I'm like, I ask in all of my emails to my vendors, I'm like, what can I do to make sure that you're at your very best, that for you to have a successful like wedding day? My hair and makeup artists are normally telling me I need natural light. I need the table setups and outlets. And I normally will then communicate to them, yes, in your getting ready suite, you'll have this many outlets, or I know that there is a specific area that you guys are going to be getting ready in. Like, I give all that stuff like ahead of time. Or if I know, okay, this is what you're requiring, we don't have that, I'll communicate that to my couple being like, hey, I think it actually would be better if we get the hair makeup artist there earlier so that like at least 15 minutes before like the girls arrive so that they can go ahead and claim their space. Yeah. And then y'all can just kind of dump in like trash your suite after that. So, but I think, this whole hierarchy thing, it does exist. It will always exist. It always exists in every way, shape, or form, wherever you go in life, whether you're working in the wedding industry, whether you're working in corporate, you have a supervisor, you have coworkers, you have inferiors, superiors, like things like that too. In culture, all that kind of stuff. We have authority figures. We have the police. Like, we have, when you go grocery shopping, like this cultural thing, I feel like it's like when you go grocery shopping, like the authoritative figure is then the associate at like a store. Sure. Yeah. That type of thing. Yeah. So, I mean, it's always going to be there. It's just how you handle it. Yeah. Your said power. Yeah. If you will. Agreed. I think it only becomes an issue when it's abused. And we all have to know, like, we are all here for one reason. Correct. So let's come together and make this happen for these people. We all have one job. Episode 1. All have one job. I don't know how many times we can say that in this podcast. So I think, so what do you do? Like, if you feel like it is being abused, or like you have you just, gotta advocate for yourself, I guess. Oh, 1,000%. Without being a bitch. Yep. I recently actually had a wedding where the videographer was like railroading the photographer team. Yes, that happens quite frequently. I hate that shit. I feel so bad for like photo video teams where like there is a stereotypical of like where y'all are clashing, because I understand that y'all are trying to get each other shots and all, like you guys are focused on like the service that you're providing. But it's always like one party that like doesn't want to be a team player. And I just don't understand that. Yeah. I don't understand the perspective like at all. I mean, when I come into a wedding day with a videographer, I go up to them and I do assert not my dominance, but I advocate for myself. And I tell them like, hey, this is what I do. This is how I run a wedding day. This is what to expect. If there is at any point that you need me to redo something, you have something that you want to do, like just chime in. Like, we're here as a team to make this happen. Like, I understand you got to get the shots you need to get. I need to get the shots I got to get. Like, let's work together and like do this thing. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, hell yeah, we'll just like shoot under you. Like, we're just here capturing, like, whatever happens, whatever. And I check in periodically, like when I'm shooting, I'm like, hey, did you get it? Are you good? Like, do you need to redo it? I can vouch for this too, y'all. I have seen Sarah like with a videography team or whatever. in my opinion, from outside looking in, the videographers have a real easy when they're working with you, because you set them up, you do all this other shit or whatever. And it's simply like the videographers then when they're working with you, they just got to add a little bit of movement for what they do. And then it's done.
I mean, even then I'm like, hey, we're going to add this movement in for the video. Like we're going to walk for the video. Like everyone be loud for the video. Like I try really hard because I understand like it's not like they have a job to do as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and railroad the entire day because I want things to be a specific way.
Yeah.
When I know that might not work for them.
Yep.
And I always check in with them at the very beginning. Like, hey, is there anything in particular that you guys do that I should be aware of? Like, do you have like a specific like money shot that you really like to get? Like what can I do to help you guys? Because I expect the same respect in return.
Yep.
And when it becomes evident that that's not going to happen, that's when I have an issue. But if I'm the one that goes up and I'm like, hey, this is how it rolls. Like, I'm here for you. You're here for me. Like, let's do this thing. 9 times out of 10, it's an even playing field. Because I guess because they feel seen. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a vendor, like a photographer to videographer thing, like where they feel like they have to really advocate for themselves, which then turns into kind of being a dick.
Yeah.
And they're not being seen or like not having like their expectations met because the photographer is like railroading them or what it is. I don't know.
So from the planning perspective, what I've noticed too is that like the one vendor that people are going to like really make sure that they have hired more than anything else is a photographer. They will cut videography and they will cut planning coordinating before they cut. I've never even heard of instances where couples are cutting photography at all. If anything, they're not hiring them for a long amount of time, but I just don't, even the super, super low budget couples too. They're always like, I don't even care if I get like a novice or a rookie or like a college kid or whatever. I want photography like at my wedding day. So like already from like an importance level, photography is literally like the number one thing that couples are thinking about, point blank. They don't care if they have to serve Chipotle at their wedding. They don't care that their aunt has to be like, their coordinator. At the end of the day, people, they always use the excuse of like, I'm never going to watch my wedding video like every day. And I'm like, but there is going to be a day where you're going to want to watch it. Or have a playback of some kind, share it with somebody.
That's my biggest regret.
Really like relive like the moment or whatever. Yes. I don't know anybody on this godforsaken green earth that is watching their wedding film every day. Nobody does that. That's a little
weird if you are doing that.
Correct. No one's doing that. I totally get it. However, though, for all these situations that I just listed off or whatever, you are going to regret if you don't. Like couples do regret. I hear it all the fucking time.
It is my biggest regret.
They regret that they don't hire a videographer. Yeah. Because they just want to be able to see the movement, feel. There is a big difference. I feel like seeing still photo and like obviously moving like motion picture.
Sure. Absolutely.
Like 1,000%. Yes. You can look at a picture and try to recollect memory wise of how you felt in that moment. But video, you can see the emotion that is literally happening.
It's done really well.
Yes. True. Very, very true.
Yeah.
So I think there is always going to be a hierarchy. Photography, I do think is going to come first and foremost more than anything else. Like I said, couples are not cutting photography regardless of how much or how little they're spending on their overall wedding day. Even with fucking elopements, when they go to the courthouse, they are hiring a photographer. Yep. To take any kind of portraits, post them exchanging vows in front of the justice of the peace. So, that's always going to be a thing that's going to be there. But with the photo video kind of clashing type situation, I think videographers, they unspokenly know like, hey, the couples definitely prioritized it into their budget and they're so afraid that a photographer is going to railroad them only because probably based off of like a past experience or maybe if they're brand new, they've heard it from other people of like, okay, make sure that, you get this done or, you advocate for yourself. But the whole point though, the advocation that you have for yourself, we preach that all day long, but then we don't preach how to do that.
Right.
Because then there is a way that you can totally come off as a dickhead when you're quote unquote advocating for yourself.
Yeah.
So so I'm a videographer and I'm coming to you. How would you like to be approached on a wedding day from a videographer standpoint?
That's a good question. I would like to be approached with a attitude of we are in this together. I know that did something shut off?
The air conditioning.
Okay. It got very quiet. I know the way that I approach a videographer may not be the best because it kind of does feel like I'm being bossy, but I'm not doing it in a way that is bitchy. I'm like doing this in like a, hey, oh my God, so happy to be here. Really great to work together. Like all this stuff. So in return, if I don't meet the videographer first and they come to me, I would much rather have them do that than just like ignore me or like not talk to me. So coming at me with like a can-do attitude, like, hey, we're in this together. Like, this is how I'm going to do it, all this stuff. And then if I have to push back, I'll push back. But I haven't ever had that happen really. I've had an instance one time where they tried to either stand in front of me or like get in my way when I'm trying to do something. And I've had to be like, okay, hey, it's my turn. Like, I've had to step in and be like, my turn, or like,
don't forget I exist.
Yeah.
Hello?
Like they get like, I understand because it's very creative and I understand from a photographer, it's a little bit different, but there is a creative like hole that you get in your brain where you have an idea that you want to execute and you have to like do it in a certain way that makes it perfect.
Yeah.
And that might mean that you keep doing it or like you do it over and over again or you do something else or whatever, where I've had to step in and be like, hey, my turn.
Yeah.
And I've done that before and it's been fine. But just having a very positive attitude of like, you and I, we're a team. We're a team that's just met. Maybe if we've never worked together before, but whatever you need, let me know. We're going to do this together. This is where I'll be. This is what I'll do. Just like constant communication is key, honestly. Like, don't just go rogue and start doing random shit. Don't take them.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that happen. Like,
I've also seen that happen. And
without talking to me. Like, if you come to me and you're like, hey, I really need to get this shot, I'm going to take them. And I'm like, cool, I will either choose to stay and do what I'm doing with like whatever's happening, or I'll choose to go with you guys, but don't take them. Like that's just be cool and like be communicative and tell people when you're going to do shit.
Yeah.
And do it. Cause I've seen like, I've looked out the corner of my eye and all of a sudden they're doing like some random shit in the field and nobody told me. And now I'm having to either one, not get it or run out there like an idiot and be like, hey, me too, which is not cute.
Yeah.
So,
I'm thinking about it from a client's perspective too. Like my fear with that, if I was like in your shoes, if the client sees like in a video and then they ask like, where's the photos?
Yeah. Yeah. And also be around. Like why does that happen? I don't
understand that. Like videographers will literally
disappear.
Where are you going?
Most of the time they're going to do drone footage.
Oh.
And which I think if you're going to do drone, I think it needs to be done way before you're contracted to be there, or tell them like, hey, I'm going to arrive an hour early or contract for an hour early.
Yeah.
And then your actual footage time starts at this time.
My wedding, that's upcoming. The videographer told me he's going to be there technically an hour before like his contracted time. But he was like, the reason why I do that is because I want to get drone footage and B-roll.
Right. That's fine. But just be around because now you're holding up my time and everyone else's time and you're missing it. And then I've had couples be like, so where's so-and-so? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not their babysitter. Like I can't tell you. Or I'm like, hey, you should really get this. Like this is happening. Like
I've seen that a couple of times too, where I'm like, why aren't you filming this?
Right. Like I don't know. I don't know. Just be around. And if you have more than one person, just make sure one person's always with the photographer. Like that's the thing. Like you got to just kind of stay together. Because chances are something's going to happen and I'm going to wait for you or I'm not. and I've had to move on before because like they're just not around and nobody can find them. Nobody
I had a recent wedding where, I don't know what the fucking videographer was doing, like bullshitting around. I don't know, like shooting the shit with somebody. I have no idea. But photographer, I had literally told them like, hey, photographer is setting out the flat lace. Like they're out here located in this spot. Obviously, I'm trying really hard to be like.
Most videographers don't care about that.
That's wild to me.
It's a still thing. They don't care.
I guess.
Like, I've done that many times where I've like either just reset it up. It's come to the point where I don't care like to keep the stuff unless the videographer is there.
And so that's what happened. I was like, hey, so the photographer is putting together this beautifully like thing or whatever. And I knew that's again, the reason why the videographer was showing up at that time was so that they can get the flat lays done. Mm-hmm. And so I had pointed them into the right direction of where it was, kind of like really encouraging them, like, you should go there. He didn't go. And then later on down the road, when photographer is up there doing bridal portraits, he now wants to go get the flat lays and start fucking around with them.
That's poor timing. That's just poor planning. And
I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. But we're getting off topic a little bit, but I feel like this is going to be kind of a short episode.
There's not a whole lot. Like I want to hear from y'all. We want to hear from y'all in regards to this unspoken hierarchy type situation. Like, have you guys like felt anything kind of like in this realm? How do you like have a list in your head of like who, I don't want to say who's the most important. We're all important on wedding day.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day though, like
there is people who are more.
Yes.
Like it is what it is. You just gotta understand that there is people that are more important than you.
Just priority wise.
Priority wise. Yeah. And I don't mean that in a mean way.
No,
nobody is trying to do anything mean by saying that they are, they need communication here, but just don't overstep your boundaries either, because I think you can cross a line. Just like kind of know your place,
Yeah. Just stay in your lane type situation.
Like, and read the room and use common sense. I think
common sense ain't so common sense.
I know, guys. Common sense. We just gotta, make good choices.
When in doubt, ask questions.
And don't go to the couple.
Oh my God. You just don't open a can of worms.
Yeah. I think ultimately, yes, the hierarchy is the couple who is like, they're big boss, right? But
not on wedding day logistics.
I know, not logistics, but like if there is like a question that you can't answer, is there ever a question that you can't answer that you have to go to the couple for?
I ask if there are decision makers before I even go to the couple. If I'm going to the couple, it is literally because the building is on fire.
Right. Okay. So, but like they're paying us. So
yep.
They are technically big boss, but they don't need to be included in anything. Mm-hmm. I think everything needs to be figured out before going to the couple. So don't go to the couple.
And that's why I've asked the couples like before, like obviously before wedding day, when we're in our final planning stages of like, say for example, like there is some sort of like little bit of a drama situation, we got some familial issues or whatever. Who am I going to first before I come to y'all? Mm-hmm. Go to mom, go to sister, go to this person or whatever.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they do actually tell me there's nobody else that is going to be able to vet appropriately. So you can come and tell me.
Yeah.
Honestly, too, most of my grooms, they're like, do not go to my bride. Just come to me and I will figure it out. Or whatever. So,
and I think the problem with the icky unspoken hierarchy is when people tend to go over other people's heads and go to the couple.
Oh, yes.
Which I know you've had happen.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is where the big issue lies too. So
I agree.
Don't do that.
If you got a planner coordinator on site, you need to go and ask them first. If they then go ahead and give you the permission of like, I don't know, go talk to the couple about it. Okay, then there you go.
If you don't like their answer, that doesn't give you permission to go over their heads and ask the couple and convince them to do something that you want to do. The silence is deafening.
So fucking loud.
Yeah. We've both had that happen before, and I highly...
It's so fucking embarrassing.
It is. It's embarrassing, and it's...
condescending. Rude.
It's really, really gross.
Yeah, don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
It's really gross. Unless there is no planner, then the decision actually falls on you and you don't know who else to ask. And there is no like designated person, but that's common sense. That's common
You've
sense.
tried troubleshooting everything. You've tried literally like doing your best and like
common sense
situating
and
it.
communication.
Yeah, for reals.
Use your noggins, people. You have them. You're
Just
not
when in doubt,
stupid.
bro, just ask questions, man. It's okay if you don't know everything.
Yeah.
Like humble approach, my guy.
Yeah.
Blessed. Sarah, where do they find you on Instagram?
Oh, we're done. Okay. You can. That was a very loud.
Sorry. I'm really sorry.
I was
Evil witch laugh.
Yeah, it fit.
Sorry.
You can find me at Serendipity Photography, SARA, like my name, Indipity Photography. And where can they find you?
TILLYANTEAL. I was gonna say D first. ANDTEAL.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. I think my brain's melting.
And if you would like to follow us on Instagram, we are at Behind the Aisle Podcast. Please rate and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already. We never want you to miss an episode.
For reals.
And if you have a What the Fuck Wednesday, as always, please submit your what the fucks to behindtheaislepodcast.com.
You just like nouned it.
Yeah, it's a verb.
Please submit your what the fucks.
Yeah, it's a noun. It is what it is. But anyway, happy Halloween, you spooky bitches. We love you. And thanks so much. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.